Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining Parkinson Voice Project for today's online Speak Out Home practice session. My name is Samantha Ellendery. I'm a speech language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. We are a nonprofit organization, a speech therapy clinic solely dedicated to helping you and everyone with Parkinson's around the world preserve your speech and your swallowing with daily vocal exercise. How was your weekend? How about for all of you moms and grandmas and aunts out there? Did you have a nice Mother's Day? Today's session is about moms, and if I have time, I'm going to answer a couple questions that came in too and share a story with you about Mother's Day when I was a teenager. So everybody say Happy Mother's Day. Ready? Happy Mother's Day. Say it one more time by yourself with intent. Ready? I hope everybody used intent yesterday when you were wishing everyone Happy Mother's Day. Let's take a sip of water, and I wanted to show you this mug. So this is Ben. His wife has been in our program now for 11 years now. She first entered the program in 2012, and she's doing a great job. Well, Ben just celebrated his 80th birthday, and he gave me this mug, so I'm going to use it today. He also, just for some ideas, it doesn't have to be for an 80th birthday, but this is so cute. This is a book that he worked a lot on about his life, and I love the 4 and more. Isn't that cool? 4 and more. And Eleanor is going to be celebrating her 80th birthday soon. And what she's doing is she is coming up with photos, 80 photos of people who made a difference in her life. Isn't that a good idea? I think that's a fantastic idea. Okay, take a sip of water and we'll get started with the speak out exercises. Maybe that will give you an idea how you can celebrate a birthday or anniversary or special day. Let's start with the warm-up, everybody. Speak out across your room. May, me, my, mo, moo. Again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Connect the sounds and make the sound go up and forward. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. And again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Are you being deliberate? Are you producing every syllable with intent? Let's do it one more time. May, me, my, mo, moo. Let's take a sip of water. I also have some really good news to share with you about our June fundraiser. In fact, it made my Mother's Day. I'm telling you, my stress level went down considerably after I got some really good news, and I'll share that with you at the end of our session. The second speak out exercise are ahs. We need to be deliberate in opening our mouth wide, okay? I really don't like for people to think about opening their mouth wide. I really want you just to focus on speaking out, but sometimes we need a little reminder. So just try to do what I do. Let's do the ah. Very good. Let's do it again. These are supposed to be strong. You shouldn't be yelling, but you're projecting your voice forward. Let's do it again. Don't let it trail off. Keep it strong the whole way. Don't squeeze the sound out either. If you feel like you're running out of air and it doesn't sound as clear, just stop. I'd much rather have a shorter ah than a longer one that you're squeezing out. Let's do it again. Ah. Good. Let's do a shorter one. Ah. That's a lot easier. Let's take a sip of water, everybody, with intent. How did you celebrate Mother's Day? I had my husband's family over for dinner, so I was cooking for about 25 people. And it was a lot of fun. I love to cook and I love to have people over for dinner. All right, next exercise, the glide. I really want you to throw out, okay, produce a steady off first and then start gliding. By doing that, you use more intent. You're thinking about it more. You're being deliberate. You're just not going, ah. We don't want that. We want you to be in control of your voice. Steady ah, then glide. Ready? Ah. Ah. Nice and confident the whole way through. Ready? You know what? I need a sip of water. Let's all take one with intent. All right, ready? For the most part, notice that I don't go into falsetto, right? I don't go super, super high. And then on the way down, what I try to do is end at the same pitch I started at. So you notice that I'm not going, like that. That puts too much tension on the vocal track. So don't think about the pitch too much. Just throw out an ah, but you try to start and end at the same pitch. Let's do it again. All right, let's take a sip of water. I haven't exercised my voice in a couple days and I can feel it. Can you feel it when you don't do your speak out exercises for a couple days? Can you tell a difference? All right, let's move on to the counting. We're going to project every number forward. We're connecting them. We're thinking about it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Stop. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's go backwards. 12, 11, 10. 3, 2, 1. Now let's put a little bit more intent into it. We're going to stretch out the vowels even more. Count from 1 to 12. Stop every 3 numbers. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is a lot harder. It requires much greater breath support. So if you're just starting to speak out, it might be a little bit too challenging. But if the numbers are usually too easy, then that's one way to make it more challenging. Stretch out those vowels. Let's take a sip of water. We'll move on to the reading. Moms, that is the topic for today, moms. Now, when we do the reading, we are strengthening. We're building strength and endurance. Read this sentence. We're going to read it 2 times, but the second time I want you to use even more intent. So if I were audio recording you, I would be able to hear the difference between the first one and the second one. Here we go. May 14th was Mother's Day. Now with more intent. May 14th was Mother's Day. So maybe we can say more enthusiastic on the second one. Ready? It is a day to celebrate and remember moms. Now say it enthusiastically. It is a day to celebrate and remember moms. Next. It is always the second Sunday in May. Now, real enthusiastically, it is always the second Sunday in May. Next. About 122 million calls are made on Mother's Day. Again, about 122 million calls are made on Mother's Day. The reading is supposed to be exaggerated. It should not sound like conversation. Let's read this one. Mother's Day is the 3rd highest selling holiday for flowers. Do it again, more intent. Mother's Day is the 3rd highest selling holiday for flowers. Next. It is one of the busiest days for restaurants. Again, it is one of the busiest days for restaurants. Go ahead and take a sip of water. I'm going to tell you a story. I grew up working in my grandparents' Mexican restaurant. Let me show you a picture. It was called Karam's for anybody who might live in San Antonio, Texas. Karam's is a Lebanese name, but this is the Mexican restaurant. And during World War II, my grandmother was selling tamales. And when my grandfather came back, they opened the restaurant. And I grew up working in the restaurant. But Mother's Day was by far the busiest day of the year. All my sisters, I have 5 sisters and myself, we all worked at Karam's, especially on Mother's Day. And we would go to church in our waitress uniforms. It was that busy. We didn't even have time to change. We'd go to church in our waitress uniforms, and even before the final blessing, we would rush out on our way to Karam's. I mean, the waiting lists were long. It was crazy. But one Mother's Day, I'm going to tell you this story. I just think the bus boys, how do we say this, were not doing the best job. They were, talking and jabbing, and we were so busy, waiting list. And my sister, who is 6 years older than me, I was probably 14. I see her going up to the bus boys to tell them to get to work, basically. And anyway, the busboy, the head busboy, okay, tells her, you know what, you better watch it or we're all gonna leave. And I can remember vividly being across the restaurant going, oh my God, what's happening? Okay, this whole gang of busboys, right? And then I see my sister, who was probably 20 years old. I see her like this, and she goes, there's the door. And I was like, oh my God. And then next thing you know, it was a mad rush. Not only were we waiting on tables, we were bussing the tables and cleaning the floor and everything. But hey, I think I learned my work ethic from working at Karam's. So, all right, let's keep going. Cognitive skills now. I want you to name female names that start with M. Say it with intent. Do we have anybody practicing with us whose name starts with an M? Let's read these together. Mary, Melissa, Margaret, Marie, Maria, Melanie, Martha, Melinda, Monica. Next category, use your best voice. Words that start with the letter O. Let's see what Lisa came up with. She prepared today's session. Ready? Observant, octopus, oats, October, object, occupation, off, or. Are you saying these with intent? How about words to describe moms that start with the letter M? This is more challenging. Ready? Marvelous, motherly, magnificent, memorable, motivational, mindful, mighty, multitasker. By the way, Lisa is a mom and has 3 children, and she's a fantastic mom. All right, let's do Dr. Boone's words, everybody, with intent. Gula ganga ga. Gula ganga ga. Speak out. Next one. Kuka mangu ka. Kuka mangu ka. Ready? Gangla. Gangla. And the last one. Kukla. Kukla. Very nice. Take a sip of water if you need one. We're going to do the bonus reading, and then I want to share some fantastic news that I received this weekend. It's so amazing and has to do with our June fundraiser. You know, we raise money in June and the end of the year. So I'm going to tell you about that, but first we're going to do our bonus reading. This is a nice poem entitled A Mother's Love. For the bonus reading, we don't just read one sentence, we keep reading and reading and reading. Ready? Together with intent. A mother's love is something that no one can explain. It is made of deep devotion and of sacrifice and pain. It is endless and unselfish and enduring come what may. For nothing can destroy it or take that love away. It is patient and forgiving when all others are forsaking, and it never fails or falters. Let's read this last part. It is patient, and read it with more intent. Ready? It is patient and forgiving when all others are forsaking, and it never fails or falters. I encourage you to download the reading material. You will see it for today's reading material is on top of the chat feature on our website. If you want previous days, they'll be under the chat. Okay, download the reading material, take what you learned today and practice, practice, practice. And then now I want to share the really good news. Since 2008, Parkinson Voice Project has not charged for any of our patient care services. And one day I'll tell you about how we got that idea. But we raise money. We don't have a development office, so we don't have fundraisers on staff, and we don't host galas or fun runs or silent auctions or anything like that. What we do is we work like crazy to help you with your speech and swallowing, and then twice a year we ask you to pay it forward in June and the end of the year. Well, we have a challenger for our June fundraiser. Are you ready? Drum roll, everybody. Drum roll. I don't know if you can hear this from here. The challenge for June is if we raise $250,000 by June 30th, someone who's been in our program for several years and his wife are going to contribute an additional $100,000. I know it's an ambitious goal, but we have ambitious dreams. Our mission and vision are ambitious. So I ask you to start thinking about it. June is right around the corner. Think about how you can pay it forward and help us to keep doing all the great work that Parkinson Voice Project is doing. And the challenge, raise $250,000, receive an additional $100,000. So think about that, okay? We're going to talk about fundraising more in June, and I'm going to plan some Zoom meetings where I can actually see you, and I can tell you a little bit more about Parkinson Voice. We'll plan separate Zoom meetings just to educate you about us, especially if you're new to our organization. Thank you for joining me today. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.